This video is going to cause some controversy in the comment section, but I'm going to tell you why Ben Affleck was and still is the greatest Batman we have ever had. So if you are new to this channel, make sure to let me know down below who is your favorite variation of Batman. Now I know people would jump instantly to Christian's Bale variation with Batman Begins, with The Dark Knight, with The Dark Knight Rises. Now I'm not talking about what is the best Batman movie. I'm talking about what is the best Batman. Who is the best Batman? Or will you be one of these fans that picks George Clooney, Michael Keaton, or Adam West? There's been so many Batmans over the years. If you can list all the Batmans down below, the actors, I would be very impressed. So at the 100,000 subscribe mark, if we ever get there, I will be giving away a freaking awesome prize just to say thank you to guys. So make sure to subscribe so we get there faster. Now, as we know, we have Robert Pattinson in The Batman 2021 that is currently shooting all over England and Scotland. It started in just outside London, then it went to Glasgow in Scotland, and now it looks like it is going to the northwest of England, Liverpool. It's looking like it's going to be a dark and gritty movie, as there are rumors that extras were seen on set covered in blood. So it could be an R-rated movie, maybe, or it could be a horror movie. So why is Ben Affleck such a great character to be Batman? Well, in his Batman, he kills, and I think that is great. So if you go back to the warehouse fighting scene, the fighting scenes throughout BVS, Batman vs Superman, are so great. Recently, I've rewatched Batman Begins, The Dark Knight Rises, as I will be making much great videos about them in full depth. Now, if you compare the fight scenes in Batman Begins to Batman vs Superman, the fight choreography is insane compared to it. Ben Affleck is the most comic book accurate, if you like, variation of Batman, but Christian Bale is more of a realistic variation of Batman. So which one is great? It's going to be interesting to see the like to dislike ratio in this video, because I know Ben Affleck has a lot of support, but then he's got a lot of haters, just like myself. I've got a lot of support and I've got a lot of trolls. So also in the news is the suits they wear. If you compare them, the first time we see Ben Affleck's variation of Batman, the first time we see Christian Bale's variation of Batman, the suits are so black and white. They're so different. Whereas Ben Affleck's version looks more armored, whereas Christian Bale's version in Batman Begins, it looks more homemade. Obviously, he had help make it, but it just looks more authentic. And Gotham City. Now, Gotham City in Batman Beyond looks very different to the Gotham City that we kind of got in BVS, although we didn't really see that much of it. But it was darker, it was grittier, there was more Easter eggs, it looks more run down. But that's mainly due to Zack Snyder. So I think that Christopher Nolan is obviously an amazing director, and I do think the Dark Knight trilogy is the greatest, but I just can't get over the fact of how such a great variation that Ben Affleck plays of Batman, and it's a shame we're never going to get to see him going one-on-one against the great one, being Deathstroke. So number 5 is, it's kind of unfair, because obviously Batman vs Superman had a setup for the Justice League, although Warner Bros kind of ruined that, and we got a dark, gritty variation of Batman with multiple suits. We got the glowy eye variation, we got the nightmare scene, we got the parademon scene. It is night and day, and it's so different to realistically even compare the two, because Christian Bale's variation of Batman only got to interact with obviously the Joker, Bane, Scarecrow, and a few others, whereas Batfleck's variation of Batman got to interact with Superman, as the movie was called Batman vs Superman, and he also got to interact with Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman. So it is a bit unfair comparing them, because they're from different years. Obviously Batman Gone came out in 2008, but BVS is pretty recent, really. So it is interesting to find out why people like Batfleck. I just think Batfleck he's the Don. He's the greatest Batman we've ever had. So that is why I'm paying close attention to what they're doing with the Robert Pattinson variation of Batman, because it's going to be very interesting. As we know, it's going to be year 1, year 2, a very early on version of Batman, which is similar to what we got in Batman Begins with Christian Bale. But with BVS version, Batman vs. Superman version, he had a little cameo role in Suicide Squad. We never got the origin with him, did we? It was a kind of veteran variation of Batman, and we got to see what Batman would be if he just didn't care, if he stopped caring. Batman, there's always this argument on the internet and in comic books, Batman cannot kill, Batman shouldn't kill, but why shouldn't Batman kill? It is always the greatest argument. And even when I put a community tab post up, people are like, BenAffleck is perfect, but he kills. Why shouldn't Batman kill? Batman is not a hero. Actually, that might trigger you guys. But he's not a hero. He's not a villain. He's an anti-hero. He's a vigilante. He protects himself. He serves himself. And this is why I'm really annoyed that we're not going to get to see BenAffleck versus Deathstroke. Now, if anyone has got hold of the script of this Deathstroke Batman movie, let me know down below, and I would love to make a content video around it, because I think it'd be so cool to go over what was going to happen in this movie. Now, a big factor of the Batman, what is the greatest Batman, is the tanks, the cars. So in Batman Begins, his car, his Batmobile, it's more like a tank. But then in BVS, it's like Christian Bale's variation on steroids. It's so much more developed. But I find it hard to compare both of the Batman side by side because it's a different era. You're comparing 2008 to 2016, which is the year when BVS came out. Obviously, in Suicide Squad, we got to see Batman in the Batmobile, obviously, but we're not on about that. So modern technology and car development, motorsport technology would have been enhanced and would have increased so much more. So it is interesting how it's really hard to compare Christian Bale's variation of Batman to BenAffleck, because technology does play a massive part in both of these movies. I just can't wait to see what is actually going to pop off in a new movie, and it's going to be very interesting. As I said, the fight scenes, if you compare Christian Bale to BenAffleck, there is no comparison. The warehouse scene in BVS is the greatest comic book fight ever. And then you've got to compare the villains. Obviously, Batman versus Superman, he didn't really have a good villain, did he? Lex Luthor, Superman technically was a bit of the villain, and obviously if in Batman Begins, there is the villain of Ra's al Ghul, then you had Joker, then you had Bane. So in a live adaptation of, I guess you could say, comic book movie, Christian Bale at the moment has had the better villains. So it's really hard to compare everything on a plain level, because you can't really compare, like, I guess you say, Scarecrow and Ra's al Ghul to Lex Luthor, who we really didn't get to see him go full on Lou Flexer. And then Superman was technically a villain in that movie until he came good. And obviously they both have their different variations of Alfred. But I am really interested to find out what is happening with the latest Batman movie, and can anyone ever beat the Batman BenAffleck? Because I posted an image on my Instagram earlier and on my Twitter, and these three images are so iconic to Batman. You've got the Nightmare version where he's got the goggles. You've got the BVS version where he's obviously in a fight with Batman and he gets the white eyes, and then you get the warehouse suit scene at the end of it. I'll overlay it right now, and you can see that this is pure perfection. And I hope I do cause a bit of argument in the comment section, because I honestly think no one has ever come close to beating BenAffleck. Everyone liked BenAffleck after he went. No one actually liked BenAffleck whilst he was still Batman. They just seemed to like him after he got replaced. But he didn't really get replaced. He walked away. Then there's these conspiracy theories that he was fired. But it is what it is. I just wanted to get a few thoughts out. I will be doing a full in-depth video on Batman Begins, The Dark Knight, and The Dark Knight Rises. But I would love to know down below, guys, who is the greatest Batman? And obviously, it is between Christian Bale and BenAffleck. Obviously, you could bring other Batmans in if you wanted to, but let me know down below. Or is it George Clooney? Is it Adam West? Are they your favorite Batmans? But realistically, guys, we should only talk about the modern day Batmans, because it doesn't make sense talking about a Batman from 60 years ago, unless you guys want to. It's just fisticuffs. If there was a fight between Christian Bale's version of Batman and BenAffleck's version of Batman, hands down, BenAffleck would destroy him. So let me know down below, guys, who is the greatest Batman ever? And do you want kind of videos like this? But like I said at the start of the video, guys, I do think the Dark Knight trilogy is the greatest Batman trilogy ever, but it's the only Batman trilogy realistically. BVS is great. The warehouse scene is great, but overall, Christian Bale's trilogy was great. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what is Matt Reeves going to do with Robert Pattinson's Batman movie. I think it is going to be insane. So like always, guys, please like, subscribe, and comment, and I will catch you in another video very soon. Catch you later.